Life becomes easy when you always want to do what's hard. Hard always becomes easy for those who always do what's hard. People that always want to do what's easy, they never get nowhere in life. People that run from responsibilities, they never get nowhere in life. I didn't create the rule, I just understand it. So those who are looking for the easy way, at the end of the day, you're gonna realize there was never no such thing.
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. Yes, we're gonna have some fun today, guys. We're gonna have some fun today. Today we got a special topic, right? Me and my guys in the studio. Today we're actually talking about something called FOMO. A lot of people don't understand what FOMO is. FOMO is the fear of missing out, right? Because like I just said a minute ago, in life, you have to break old habits so you can create better habits. A lot of people are fearful of breaking old habits because they're scared how the world's gonna receive them. But I'm gonna tell you something. It is easier for you to change the room you in than to change the room you in. Let me say that again. It is easier for you to change the room you in rather than changing the room you in. And what I mean by that is this. When you're in a room that behaves a certain way, you don't force change in that room. You remove yourself and go into a better room. Therefore, you'll be allowed to become your new self. So again, it's easier to change the room you in than it is to change the room you in. See, the problem is we want to change the rooms we in rather than change ourselves and put ourselves in uncomfortable situations. It is nothing wrong with being uncomfortable. I think uncomfortableness is the key to success, right? I've noticed that I make myself so uncomfortable to the point where now I'm naturally comfortable. You know, a lot of times we have these topics and we talk about these things. I freestyle most of my content because I'm comfortable with who I am. I don't fear about messing up. I don't worry about what someone thinks. Because I'm gonna tell you something, this is a genuine conversation between me and you my guys, my listeners, which I love so much. You guys support me so much. Here at the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, we extremely focus on authenticity, honesty, and being real. For those who are real, let me give you a round of applause. For all my real people who are real, who are real, who are real. But today we're talking about the fear of missing out. It's a phobia, right? The fear of being ignored altogether, right? See, this is the problem. When you realize that you fear of you're missing things, this is why so many people behave the way they behave, right? Because they feel like if I don't behave the way they're behaving, therefore I won't be accepted. But in life, you gotta learn to accept yourself. See, you're looking for acceptance from people who haven't even accepted themselves. That's a harsh reality, and a lot of people don't understand that. You're looking for acceptance from people who haven't accepted themselves. I can always respect a person that is always their organic self every time I see them. Every time I see them, they're the same. I don't care if they're annoying. I don't care if they're loud. I don't care if they're obnoxious. At the end of the day, I know how to deal with them. I can always respect somebody like that because that person is being true to themselves. I genuinely believe that most people aren't true to themselves. They're like chameleons, right? Whatever room they go in, they become. How do you plan on being successful when every room you go into, you become a new person? Let me say that again. How do you ever plan on being successful when you go into every different room, you become every different room? See, sometimes in the darkest room, you have to always be the light. But a lot of people are scared to be their light. See, so what you do is you dim your light because you don't want to be in a room and be too bright. But you got to go in rooms that allow you to be bright. They accept you for being bright. They have integrity and they believe in you being bright. They're not inferior to your brightness, right? Because if I come next to your brightness, I may squint today, but I'm going to stay around. Eventually, my eyes will be wide open, and I'll be able to see you clear as day. Because you're going to force me to accept you. I think we should force people to accept who we are. Stop focusing on what others are doing and start focusing on what you're not doing. It's the fear of missing out. When you really evaluate it, today we had a topic today talking about cars and liabilities. Listen to this narrative. Most people believe that wealth looks a certain way. But wealth don't look a certain way. Wealth actually behaves a certain way. So while you're focused on looking wealthy, you're not becoming wealthy because you're not behaving like the wealthy. But you think you're going to look wealthy, so therefore you will be wealthy, ultimately never becoming wealthy because you don't look wealthy. Look what you just said. You said, if I look wealthy, therefore I'm wealthy. How you going to become wealthy when you think because you look wealthy, that's going to make you wealthy? That's a harsh, false reality. That's a harsh, false reality, right? Well, what I say is the fear of missing out. We're on social media these days, right? And a lot of our content is geared towards what we think people want to see. Notice most of the comments, the conversations on social media. It's constantly about something that's controversial, right? And this is the problem. When you have a bunch of people who are controversially engaging in these conversations, you push out bare negativity, but you expect positive results. You engage in negative conversations, but you believe in positive results. You put up half-naked pics and you wonder why so many people give you so many likes. It's lust. You're looking for love, but you're posting pictures that are bringing you lust. Where does that even make sense? You want to get rich, but you're spending all your money looking like you're rich. This is social media. It's a fairy tale. It's delusion. It's not real. But you fear you're going to miss something. You know what you're missing? You're missing yourself becoming your better self. That's what you're missing out on. Because a lot of your energy is focused in all the wrong directions. All of your energy is focused in all the wrong directions. You're not going north, south, east, west. You're actually going backwards. That is the worst place you can go, is backwards. Because a mind, I'm going to tell you something, a mind doesn't sit still. A mind either goes forward or backwards. And a lot of people right now, they're going backwards because they're not engaging into new activities and new conversations. You are the conversations you have, right? We like to say up here, birds of a feather flock together. We like to say that you are the company you keep. We like to say things like you are the conversations you have. We like to say things, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Why do we say that? Because naturally you'll become what you're around. Sometimes thieves don't even know they're a thief because they're around other thieves. And the fact that that thief steals more than them, they think they don't steal. Look how dangerous the mind is. You a thief that's around thieves. They steal more than you, so you don't think you're really a thief. But y'all all thieves. That's how crazy the mind can become. But we talk about the fear of missing out. You fear missing out on things that don't even matter. Listen, by sacrificing 2 to 3 years of your life to invest, you're not missing out on a vacation. Because I'm going to tell you something in life. We like to say, he who shines last will always shine the brightest. She who shines last will always shine the brightest. But you want to shine prematurely. So you won't know how to sustain it. See, the best thing about coming from bottom is you learn how to sustain success at the top. Because I'm going to tell you something, it's easier to go back to doing what you had to do to get back there and then going there when you've never been there before. It is hard to accept a lifestyle that you've never had. I can eat ramen noodles and peanut butter and jellies for the next 5 years and I'll be okay. Because I know what poverty is. I know what not having feels like, right? But here's the problem. I don't fear me missing out. I fear me not becoming my better self. A lot of y'all should fear that. You're not working on yourself, but yet and still you believe that the best is yet to come, right? You want a standing ovation for doing absolutely nothing, right? You want a round of applause for doing nothing. You want what every kid wants these days, a participation award. A participation award. What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? You did absolutely nothing. So therefore you got nothing because nothing plus nothing equals nothing. Nothing. You're missing out on the wrong things. Listen, guys, the people, I had to tell a guy today, he was bragging about a vehicle and how cars are looked at as wealthy from the wealthy. Let me break something down for y'all real fast. A car is not looked at as success from the wealthy. Let's get that straight. When you see wealthy people buy cars, they're not paying for the cars that they're driving. In most cases, someone is paying for the car that they're driving. Let me say that again. When you see wealthy people driving luxury vehicles, they're not paying to drive the car. Someone is paying for the car that they're driving, meaning there's an asset that they have that's paying for the liability. I don't think somebody heard me good enough. Let me say that one more time. When you see someone driving a nice vehicle, we're talking about the wealthy, the successful, right? Not the ones posing. Because believe you me, it's more cap going on than not. Cap, right? We're talking about the wealthy. What the wealthy do is they make an investment that ultimately gives them a return, and they use the money that's returned to buy a liability, so therefore they're not working for it. And they're not losing because the asset is still retaining and gaining value. Does that make sense? This is the breakdown. Right, but what we do is this. We want to mirror what they're doing, right? Because the FOMO, the fear of missing out, I'm going to mirror what they're doing, having a false a level of success, pretending to be I'm at a level that I'm not. Ultimately never getting to the levels. Because it's cap, right? And this is our culture in a nutshell, to the point where most people are starting to behave like this. There's a study, and I want everybody on my live to Google this after they get off this live. Make sure you remember, write this down, write this down, write this down, write this down, write this down. My YouTubers, everybody, write this down. There's a study that said by 2053, African-American males in America, or African Americans, will have a net worth of 0. That's your median. Your low will be negative. Right? Your high is very low also. And the reason being is because the way people behave with money, we fear a false reality. So we create delusion. More people are delusional than they are living in reality. It's the Matrix. They've taken the wrong pills. They're so caught up in pretending to be so they'll never be. You cannot fix reality when you live in a false reality. Let me say that again. You cannot fix your reality when you live in a false reality. You got to look at the status you're at today and say, if I make sacrifices, I can get there. It's strategy. Too many people are playing checkers but not playing chess. See, checkers is fast, intricate moves, fast moves, moves. Chess is a thinking man's game. Chess is a thinking woman's game. A lot of people aren't thinking. They're just moving, right? I'm going to tell you something crazy. You can look so busy at doing absolutely nothing. Let me say that again. You can look so busy absolutely doing nothing. There are a lot of people that look busy because they put the highlight reel up. It's their social media. They feed. It's cap. And I always ask the influencers, you're doing so well. Let's go live in your living situation. I don't want to see an Airbnb. I don't want to see a hotel. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to go live, and I want somebody to understand this. You know the reason why I don't post hotel rooms when I leave and travel? I think hotel rooms are garbage. I think they're average at best. You know, it's a copy and paste room all throughout the hotel, right? I don't think a hotel room is that substantial that impresses me, right? And I don't fear missing out, right? A lot of us fear the new trends. So we run to do the same trends, right? There's a story right now. I ain't gonna say her name. She's talking about she makes all these millions of dollars of trucking. She don't even have a driver's license. I'm not taking no shade, no shots, no nothing, but I already knew it was cap as soon as I saw it. I knew it was cap. And the reason why I knew it was cap, because of the fact that any successful person that I know, they don't make things sound easy, right? I'm gonna tell you something. With pursuing greater self, it is not an easy road. Any person that tells me all you gotta do is this, like, come on, buy my program. It's that easy, huh? But what if I don't have the mentality that you have to get there? See, in order to be successful, we gotta create a new mentality, right? Fear has become so prominent in our lives to the point that we're not even seeing that we're running towards our fears. You know, you fear being unsuccessful. So what you do is you give yourself a false sense of success, ultimately believing that you're really successful. That's how the human brain works, right? And that's a narrative that we need to talk about. But when you learn that we're creatures of habits, the habits we create ultimately become us, right? The other day, a guy said to me, what changed? I said, I don't think it's the fact that we're missing out on dads. That's been a problem for a very long time. I think it's the village that's missing. There are a lot of people who don't have anyone around them orchestrating them to becoming greater selves and successful, right? So what they do is they behave based on what they want others to see them doing. More people are uncomfortable showing who they are, so they pretend to be someone they're not, right? It's like Halloween all year long. It's Halloween all year long, like all year long, right? The makeup's been on people for years, right? This is what we do. We play a false narrative game. It's a game. But if you don't learn to accept yourself and you keep looking at the fact that others aren't doing well, but you're not seeing that you're not doing well because you're following the same formula as the people that's not doing well. You're doing the same thing. But let me guess. You expect better results. Listen how entitled that sounds. I want you to hear this. Kinsey, listen to this. I'm going to do less than you, right? But you showed me how hard you work to get to where you are. But I'm going to do less than you, but I'm going to be blessed more than you. That sounds entitled as hell, don't it? That sounds so entitled. So many people are so entitled. They're entitled. That's really the problem. You're entitled. You feel like, look at me. You know, a little kid, when the kids do something great and the other kid do like a little flip and they act like they did something amazing. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. But we're going to get into these. There's a lot of different phobias, right? But like there's a fear of being ignored altogether, right? A fear of being ignored. So what happens is we post, right? Looking for acceptance. You know something funny? I told my guy the other day, I don't give a damn if a video go viral. I don't give a damn if a video get a lot of traction or not. At the end of the day, I said my piece and whoever had to receive it, received it. Whoever wasn't meant for that video wasn't meant for that video. So you get mad at the fact that so many people at the top tier level, you're the one that support them. I look at some of the people's videos, right? And they say like the most foolish things. Within seconds, they already got 12,000 likes. You didn't even listen to what they said. You just such a groupie. Like, you're gonna get their attention. You got people that will DM a celebrity thinking that's gonna grab their attention. Like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. They get 1 million DMs a week, right? But you don't see, open your mind, read a book, right? They say the best knowledge is in a book. You don't even want to open your mind and read a book. That don't even make sense. How are you going to learn when you stop reading? Just because you graduated school don't mean you graduated life. The day we graduate life is the day is over. That's it. That is our final destination, our final resting spot. There is no completion. There's no such thing. Your mind is supposed to be constantly growing, educating yourself, learning more, but you fear every tactic there is. All I gotta do is put up an infomercial. Hey, you sitting over there with a shirt that says what? Let me read that. Regulate your government, not your neighborhoods. That's what I said. I said that right? All right, but anyway, when you look at this guy, he'll look you in your face on an infomercial. You sitting in your room, you're feeling depressed, so you see a YouTube video. Your mother and father just curse you out for not having your life together. So an infomercial comes up and say, hey, you, sitting there with the beard, I think your name is Chris Richards, right? Come on, come download my program. You can get rich overnight. So what happens is your fear kicks in, right? You start thinking, he said, I'm only giving out 100 programs to the first 100 people. You're like, oh my God, you picked up your phone and started making phone calls. You started thinking that you're missing something, right? What are you missing out on? You're missing out on being scammed. I'm gonna tell you guys on this live right now, anybody that believes that there's a microwave way to success, I feel so sorry for them. Everyone knows the best food comes from the oven, and it takes longer to cook because it's cooked with love. Anyone that understands that life has ups and downs. If you think life has only ups, then you have never been really down. Anyone that don't understand that success is all about your sacrifices. And if you're not willing to make sacrifices, you're never gonna be successful. Anybody that don't understand that life is about learning. And learning from your flaws and your mistakes is a part of the journey to learning, right? You gotta fall as many times as you're willing to get back up. And sometimes your greatest get back up is the one that's going to save you and put you in the next position. When you fall, you look at it as like, I fell down, and you're sad and you're depressed about falling. But in reality, falling is a part of the journey to becoming successful. Losing is a part of winning. It comes with the territory. You will never know how great a win is if you never felt a loss. If you've never felt a loss, you'll never know how great a win could be. You'll never know. But you're so caught up in your feelings. You're captivated by the FOMO. I'm missing out. What are you missing out on? You're missing out on you becoming your greatest self because it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of you willing to develop the new character that you want to become. You will never be allowed to become your new self because you won't allow yourself to become your better self. You will never be allowed to be your better self because you won't allow yourself to become your better self. FOMO, the fear. I invest money in the stock market. And there was times when I first got in the market, I would see green, right? And literally, I would be like, oh my God, I will find money to put into the stock because it's running green. So let's just say I bought an Apple stock. The Apple stock is $140, right? I'm looking at the stock like, oh my God, it's running. It was $135 today, it's up $5. I'm gonna miss out. I'll chase it. Buy that stock that day. When the other day, that same stock was $130, I didn't see the value of it then, right? But now today it's running. I'm willing to buy it at $140, right? And you know what I do? I lose. Well, I don't lose, but I've moved my dollar cost average because in my mind, I'm thinking that I'm catching the new trend, the new wave, instant gratification. I'm gonna get rich overnight. But in reality, there is no such thing. We so caught up in looking for success that we don't realize that we can't find success because you can't find success. You have to work hard to become successful. There is no finding success. You have to create your success. You have to create your success. How do I say create your success? You got to be around people that make you very uncomfortable. To my young people, and I want you to hear this real good. The greatest people that challenge you the most is the people that love you the most. And a lot of times y'all don't embrace challenge because society tells y'all that there's something easy out there. To my men on my live, being a man is one of the hardest jobs you'll ever have to do, besides parenting. Being a mother and a father is a very hard job. It don't come with a manual. It don't come with a script. You learn it as you go. And these child you have, they're completely different. But you got to learn it. But the one thing I know about good parents, we want the greatness for our children because we know how hard it is out there. We know how hard it is. Life don't get easy as you get older. It gets harder. It's a harsh reality, right? To my young people, I tell you all the time, be mindful of embracing challenge. If you're scared of hearing your parents complain about you doing the wrong things, won't you just do the right things? It's really that simple, right? It's really that simple. But again, we scared that we're going to miss out on things. It starts as a child. We start off young like this, and then we become older people still chasing behind others. But I'm going to tell you something. Success is a one street, one person. You got to do it. Each person got to be individually willing to go down the road. Nobody can drag you to success. Nobody can force you to success. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to make the hard decisions. You're going to have to make the hard choices because life can't always be there to protect you. At the end of the day, it's the decisions that you make will ultimately be you. I said this earlier, when you're young, you look like your parents. When you get older, you look like your life's decisions. You look like your own decisions. So be mindful of the decisions that you're making, right? We all look like our life decisions as you get older. Life don't happen because you just believe it's going to happen. Life happens because you're actually doing things to make it happen. It's a harsh reality. FOMO, right? There's a JOMO too. JOMO is the joy of missing out. This is a good mentality, and I believe so. Why I feel that way? Because it's okay to miss out on things. I don't mind it. This is a person that seems more comfortable in their own skin. I've noticed a lot of people aren't comfortable in their own skin. You're not missing out on things, right? All of these caps, all these, keep working. You got that person in school right now. There's a kid right now that comes to my shop. He's in college to be a doctor. He said, Q, the hardest thing is watching people drive nice cars while I'm killing myself in school. You know what I had to tell him? I said, bro, you're becoming a doctor. That is almost doing your 12 grades over again after you get out of high school. You got to do it all over again. I said, but you want one of the greatest titles in the country. But you're going to have to sacrifice, because I'm going to tell you something. He who laughs last will always laugh the best. Patience is life, right? Sacrificing is life, right? Being conscious of your decisions is life, right? But a lot of people don't make the right decisions, but they want the great results. You want to be spoiled for doing the wrong things. Where in life is that possible? Where is that going to happen? No one's going to give you no more than you deserve. Life will life whether you like it or not. Life be life, and everybody know life be life, and all my people in my life say it. Life be life. Whether you like it or not, life gonna life. But it's the preparing that will ultimately allow when life start lifing, for you to survive it without a problem. I tell people all the time, always behave like you down, even when you up. They said, why would I do that? I said, because if you behave down when you up, no one will never know if you're down. No one will never know. And life happens whether we like it or not. But the problem is you can see a person that's down because of the way they look like when they were up. That's how you can tell. But if you don't know the difference between them from an up or down, because when I'm up, I'm going to behave the same way if I'm down. You'll never know. Because I don't change my aura, my character, my nothing. Money don't make me compromise who I am as a man or as a person. We're willing to compromise our integrity, our morals, right? Looking for acceptance from people who don't give a damn about us. That's what we do. That's fear. You're worried about being accepted by people that haven't even accepted themselves. That's a fear. But I think at this day, the people that love us is the people we should be fearing, them giving up on us. Let me say that again. I would rather lose friends who really don't care about me than the people that actually love me giving up on me. I thank God every day my mother never gave up on me. I thank God my mother pushed me. I thank God so many people believed in me, right? Because it's hard when you believe so much. See, when people push you, people look at it as you're annoying, you're yelling at me, but they don't see it as, no, I see something so great in you. But until you see it for yourself, there's nothing I can do. It is so frustrating being a parent in this market right now, right? Because so many young people believe that life is so easy, right? My son is in college right now, and he tells me all the time, like, Dad, this is very hard. I said, why do you think I tried to prepare you before you got there? If getting a degree was so easy, everyone would have one, right? Let me say that again. If getting a degree was so easy, everyone would have one. But it's a harsh reality that only certain people are going to get it because they have the discipline. Life is 100% discipline. Would you agree? It's discipline. A lot of people don't become successful because they're not disciplined. They're not disciplined. It's not the inability. It's the lack of focus, the lack of discipline. Always have to be constantly reminded to do things that you know you should be doing. Life becomes easy when you always want to do what's easy. I mean, life becomes easy when you always want to do what's hard. Hard always becomes easy for those who always do what's hard. People that always want to do what's easy, they never get nowhere in life. People that run from responsibilities, they never get nowhere in life. I didn't create the rule, I just understand it. So those who are looking for the easy way, at the end of the day, you're going to realize there was never no such thing. There's a kid that come in my shop also. He told me, Kenzie, I said, yo, you like living in this town, right? He said, yes. I said, do your parents work hard? He said, yes. I said, if your parents died today, would you still live here? He said, no. So I said, that means you got a lot of work to do, right? He goes, yes. Ever since that day, he's been focused because he realized that there is going to be a day where everyone's going to have to close the casket on their parents. Everyone is. And it's going to be one or two things you're going to say to yourself, I did a good job. I wish I would have did more. We're all going to have to close the casket on our parents one day. All of us. Right? It's just a harsh reality. No one wants to do it. Right? And I think the worst fear is my child dying before me. That's my worst fear. That's my worst fear. Right? Life, you're supposed to get old. right? We're supposed to enjoy our youth. I want to sit back and you know, the best feeling in the world is, and when you look at your child and you say, you know what? I bought you the gifts that you wanted. The only thing I want is your education. Any real parent, that's all they want from their children. I will buy myself anything I want, but I cannot beat my kid to the ground until you get grades. I ask for the simplest thing in return for me giving you a great life. That's a nice trade, right? That's a nice trade. I will do everything I have to do, take you on vacations, give you a good life. The one thing I need from you is always getting you good grades. Make sure you set a good example. My son is the oldest out of my children. He has to always realize that that is a big responsibility, right? That is a very big responsibility. But again, we fear missing out on things, right? The positive feeling about not being on social media, the joy of missing out. It's called JOMO. A lot of us need to switch this mentality. We got the FOMO, the fear of missing out. I need to be attached to everything that's not right? Everything that's not working. But again, we're so caught up in what we believe to be that it won't be. We make ourselves believe the most craziest things. Delusion is real. A person could literally make themselves delusional. How do you believe you're going to pass a class when you haven't even studied? Chris, let me ask you, how are you going to pass a test when you haven't studied? Well, people believe so, right? Why is that? It sounds like delusion to me. And that's how people are. They're very delusional. You're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere when you're not willing to do more, right? If a person got to always be on top of you to do the things that's only going to benefit you, that's a problem. Listen to this. How am I adamant about what your life more than you are about yourself? Let me say that one more time. If a person has to constantly yell at you about doing what you should be doing, that's a problem. That means you're the problem. Think about it. Everything that I'm telling you right now is only going to benefit you. Saving money don't benefit me. It benefits you. If I say, Chris, save your money, it only benefits you. Chris, invest your money. I don't get nothing out of it. But I get the joy of seeing someone else become better self. This is a harsh reality. We live in a fairy tale world. The world is very delusional, right? But there's a lot of fears that a lot of people don't have, right? There's a fear I'm noticing even in relationships. It's called the fear of better options. That's called FOBO. FOBO, F-O-B-O, FOBO. The fear of better options. A lot of people believe that they got better options out there, right? You don't have as many options as you would like to believe. People are not that replaceable as you believe they are, right? When you find someone that genuinely loves you and cares for you, you believe you're going to find a bunch of people like that? How do we want the best things in life, but we're not even becoming the best things in life? Ain't that crazy? How do you want the top tier woman, but you're not even a top tier man? How do you want the top tier man when you're not even a top tier woman? Where does that make sense? That sounds like entitlement to me. You want the best of the best, but you're not even the best of the best. You want the greatest of greatest, but you're not even the greatest of greatest. FOBO, right? The fear of better options. A lot of y'all have the fear of thinking that you're missing out on something. There are a lot of people that don't want to settle down because of that. They're scared of settling down because of FOBO. The fear that there are better options out there. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, good luck. Finding someone that loves you for you is one of the best things you can find. Because the reality of all things, it is hard. Most people that date nowadays look for people that want that accommodate who they want them to be. The relationship is only good as based on how much you're willing to do for them. That's how most people date. So if you believe there are plenty of options that's going to be like that, good luck. Right? There's another one. It's called MOMO, the mystery of missing out. Let's elaborate on this mystery of missing out thing. You know what's scary? And I've noticed that so many people do this. They create things that are going to happen before they even happen. You ever been around somebody like that? You tell them you want to do something great, and by the time you tell them you want to do something great, they already told you 55 reasons why it's going to fail. That's a scary person to be around. Listen to that again. I tell you something I want to do, and before I even finish my sentence, you already tell me the 55 reasons why it's going to fail. I'm gonna tell you something what God does. God puts visions in your mind that are bigger than the person that you're telling it to can see. So when he put this vision in your mind, you're looking for someone to co-sign your vision. But in reality, he didn't see your vision. You saw your vision. So you want someone to see the dream, but how are they gonna see the dream when they don't even understand and respect the dream themselves? They've been stopped dreaming. So how do you expect this person to see Dre's big dream, but yet instill the fact that, man, I don't even dream anymore. I've given up. I've allowed myself to come to my final resting spot. And then I'm gonna complain about anyone who's doing more. That's what we do. That's what we do in a nutshell. We don't understand that life is about grades and pursuing your greatest self. Every day, elevating, challenging yourself. If you could do 10 push-ups, why not do 11? If you could do 11, why not do 12? And if you could do 12, why not do 13? If somebody got to tell you to do that, that means you do not want to be successful. Do me a favor. My God, give me the 10 things that's millionaires do. 10 things. I'm going to show y'all something. 10 things. Everyone wants to be this millionaire thing, right? This millionaire. I want to be a multi-millionaire. You're not even willing to do what the 1 millionaire is willing to do. When does that make sense? We're going to bring up this chart. I'm going to show you something. 10 things that millionaires do. And everybody on my live right now, I want you to answer this honestly, truthfully, and don't lie. I'm going to ask y'all 10 things, and y'all be honest with yourself. Do you do these things? Right? I'm not asking you, are you willing to do these things? I'm asking you, are you doing it? And we're going to be honest, right? 10 things that I'm telling you right now, you're going to see. A lot of people aren't willing to do anything, but they believe that they're going to become rich and successful. They're not even willing to do half of the things that a wealthy person is willing to do. But you're going to say something like this. They take advantage of people. There are tons of people that are successful who do not. So you don't believe that God gives blessings also? Notice that a lot of people push away success because when a person is successful, they talk bad about them. These are my 10 things. I want y'all to hear this. All right, let's go. Number 1, and being honest. This laptop humongous. He bought this on a Black Friday sale 35 years ago. The first thing is, look, number 1, let's be honest. And everybody on my live, be honest. Number 1, this is 10 things that wealthy people do. Number 1, they've developed multiple streams of income. Let's be honest. Put your finger up if you're doing that. And being honest, put your finger up if you do that. Don't be ashamed. Again, what you can acknowledge, you can fix. If you can't tell yourself the truth, you can't fix it. G, if you do it, put your fingers up too, G. Make them see it. Keep your fingers down if you don't do it. I got 1 finger up. Number 2, they never give up. Put your finger up if you believe in yourself like that. You know the beautiful thing is? Today you ain't giving up no more. So put that finger up. You ain't gonna never give up. Say it. Matter of fact, say it. Come over here, say it. Come. I want you to say it on the mic. Let them hear you say, I'm never gonna give up. Come.
I'm never gonna give up.
Say it with more confidence.
I'm never gonna give up.
Say it louder.
I'm never gonna give up.
You gotta say it like you believe it.
I'm never gonna give up.
I love you, right? Listen, people don't understand. Life is not about being the best. But life is about you trying and always doing your best. No one is the best, right? But never giving up is a main premier. That's you believing in oneself. Life get hard, but you cannot quit or submit, right? We don't quit, we don't submit. We keep fighting. So to my people that got their 2 fingers up, I got 2 fingers up. 2. Third, they keep learning. They keep learning. I'm 3 for 3, baby. 3 for 3. You gonna keep learning? Put that finger up higher. I wanna see higher. 3 for 3. They keep learning, right? Number 4, they invest. They invest. They invest, right? Let's keep going. They block their time to focus on the things that matter. They block their time for the things that matter. We're not talking about video games. We're not talking about chasing girls, right? We're not talking about those things. We're talking about educating yourself. We're talking about disciplining yourself, right? We're talking about the things that really matter, right? People find time for the things that don't matter every single day. I sound like I'm 5 for 5, baby, right? Right? Number 6, they pursue their goals. Sound like I'm 6 for 6, baby. I'm getting hot. This jacket got to come off soon. I'm cooking right now. 6 for 6. I want y'all to be honest. That's 6 for 6, right? They pursue their own goals. Number 7, they always network. I'm 7 for 7. I'm 7 for 7. You're going to break that habit. Both of y'all. Y'all got to break that networking habit. Both of y'all. Y'all dope dudes, but people ain't going to know y'all dope people if y'all don't allow yourself to get out there a little bit more. Right? The antisocial thing is done. Right? We sitting here telling you want to be a millionaire. You want to be a millionaire. But look what it says. They network. 7 for 7. Right? They focus on investing in strategic investments. That sounds like 8 for 8. I'm 8 for 8. I'm 8 for 8. Right? Number 9, they read consistently. It's 9 for 9. Read a lot. Okay, but that's a positive thing. But keep it as a habit. Right? Keep it as listen, no one is perfect, but you gotta be honest with yourself if you know where you want to be in life. Right? That's the problem when you start making yourself believe that something is gonna happen from nothing. We always say nothing plus nothing equals. You gotta be honest. Right? And the last thing I want y'all to know, they're always honest with themselves. They're always honest with themselves. See, when you believe that you're lying to someone and you're telling them something that is fooling them, in retrospect, you're only fooling yourself. I tell my son all the time, you're not lying to me, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. And I'm not frustrated because you lied to me, I'm frustrated because you believe your own lie. When you start believing your own lies, you start making poor decisions. Because you'll make reservations at a restaurant for your poor decisions, right? And you and that poor decision sitting at that restaurant eating together. Because you're the only one that believed that lie. Sometimes I play dumb just to see if you're going to lie to me. Right? And sometimes life will play dumb with you just to see if you're going to lie to it. They always tell themselves the truth. They say honesty is the best policy, right? I went 10 for 10. I went 10 for 10 because I know I forced myself to become this person, right? But at one point, I was 1 for 9. I was 1 for 10. At one point, I was 2 for 10. Then at one point, I was 3, then 4, then 5, then so forth and so forth. I worked on myself. No one is going to work on you more than you should be willing to work on yourself. This is the reality. Let's get out of delusion. When you use these Googles and these YouTubes, look for the things that matter. Right? Let's look for words of affirmation. Let's speak things into ourselves that can really become. Let's say to ourselves, I can be a great person. Right? Let's say things that I can't, if I don't study for this test, I'm gonna fail. A lot of people have failed the test of life. They're gonna continue to fail the test of life because they're constantly coming to take the test unprepared. They're unprepared. And that's the reality. They take this test unprepared. You cannot continue to walk through life blindfolded, thinking life just gonna happen for you. I mean, you're very entitled. Entitled. Why are you so entitled? Who are you? What makes you so special? I tell people like this all the time. You don't have to be born special, but you can work hard to become special. Let me say that one more time. You don't have to be born special, but you can work hard to become special. There are so many people who have outworked their bad starts. Look at the narrative. I'm at a track. The gun goes off. Kinsey, you a runner? Stay with me. I fall as soon as the race starts. They're running. It's a 400 meter race. I fell at the beginning. Is the race over? When is the race over? When you cross the finish line. So I get up and I go harder, right? I go harder to run my best and I catch back up. I don't cry about my delayed start or my fall. I don't cry about that. That's a part of life. You got to get back up and keep running, right? Then it's over. So even if I lost that race, I can learn from where I went wrong. Okay? I had a bad start out my blocks. I came out bad. Now I'm going to work on that, right? I'm not good at math. I'm going to work on that. I'm not good at public speaking. I'm going to work on that. I'm not good about making myself uncomfortable with networking. I'm going to work on that. But you cannot sit back and lie to yourself thinking that things are going to come from you just manifesting with your mouth. The greatest people are the ones who make the greatest sacrifices. We got to get out our fears. The fear of missing out is a reality. A lot of people are missing out on themselves. They're becoming them better selves. That should be your biggest fear, right? And what you should fear is having everyone around you accepting you for not being your best self. You should fear that. I don't want people around me that's not telling me to do more. I don't want people around me that's not pushing me. I don't want people that's telling me it's okay with a 65. You're getting a 65 at life and you want that me to accept that and I say I love you? I care for you? I think the people that love you are the hardest people on you in your life because they see things in you you may not see in yourself. And it's crazy when you see potential that's wasted. That is the graveyard right now. The graveyard is a bunch of wasted potential. I have a friend that comes to my shop. His name is Derek. He said he buries more young people than he buries older now. He buries more young people, and he's been in the cemetery for over 15 years. He said in the last 5 years, it's changed so much to the point where he's seeing younger and younger people come into the graveyard, right? And why is this? A lot of young people are taught not to value life. It's a reality. We must change this narrative, right? I don't know who told the children that the parents are fools. Like when I talk to kids and young people, they look at me like I'm crazy. Like they got the magic genie to rub and it will grant them magic wishes. There's no such thing. You cannot, Kinsey, play a video game and respawn. There's no coming back. You make a dumb decision, it's over. I'm harder on men because I realize that men are supposed to be the head of their households. We're supposed to be the head. We're supposed to be the leaders. I tell my son, when I'm not there, who is the man of the house? He says me. So it's not a woman, it's him. You're supposed to lead. Take your natural right. That's your right. But you have to earn it. Because you don't see me sitting around whining and complaining. You don't see me crying about the stress that comes with me being a man. I get up and I fight. And I expect you to do the same thing. The same exact thing. You fight. When grades are bad, you try harder. You don't complain. You don't whine. Life is not going to allow it. It's not going to allow it. You understand? It won't allow it. It won't. He won't allow it. And I'm not going to allow it. When people love you, I tell you, you're my nephew. I'm talking to one of my good friends' son. Love this guy to death. So don't feel no way. Come. This guy is a very intelligent young man, guys. Right? This guy right here. Come show me your face. This guy right here. Look, handsome young man, too. You see that? Fake look like his dad a little bit. Right, this guy, a very intelligent young man. But guys, tell him, and I want you to see this. If he don't work hard to his potential, will he be successful? I want y'all to answer the question. I want you to see. I want y'all guys to answer it too. Will he be successful? Will he be successful? If he don't work hard to his potential. If he don't work hard. He will not. He will not. He will not. He will not. All four of us, you think we say that to lie to you? You think we're going to lie to you? Right? Look what they all say. Absolutely what? They all say. What do you say right here? What do you say? What do you say? See, what I'm getting at is this. You're a good young man. You come from good stocks. I know your mother, I know your father. You come from good stock. But you got to go get your birthright. You are a king. You are a prince going into becoming a king. But you have to earn that right. No one's going to give you a crown because you just say hi. You have to earn it. You want to work, you got to work hard. No one should be on you for doing things you got to do because it's for your life. Everything your father challenges you to do because it benefits you. Your grades don't benefit him. It makes him proud, but who it benefits? So why do you think he's hard on you for your grades? Come, say it to the mic.
Because he wants to see me be successful.
Do you want to be successful is the question. But you can't say that with the negative actions. That don't make sense. It's a contradiction to what you say you want, right? If you say you want this, you got to do this so you can get this. You got to work hard, right? Now, a lot of people are going to say they want things, but the actions don't say it. Your mouth is one thing verbally, right? The Bible, you believe in the Bible? You believe in God? Okay, but you believe in God. God always speaks things on faith without work is nothing. You know what that means? All the faith you have means nothing will come of it. But it's the action. That means more. So when you ask God for anything, he's going to see your action before he see your mouth. Because he knows what you already want. God knows you more than you know you. He knows who you are. He knows who I am. He knows him. But he's going to see your action. Right? If you go to your dad and say, Dad, give me this now, what's your dad going to say? So if you go to God and say, give me this now, what do you think he's going to say? He's going to say, hell no. Now I'm going to make you wait longer because you don't deserve it. You tell him you deserve it with your actions. You don't got to ask your dad for nothing. Work hard, he's going to give you everything your heart desires. Agree or disagree? That's how life operates. Your God in heaven, that's how he operates. He will bless you based on your actions, not your mouth. Your words mean nothing. It's your action. So we're going to work more on our what? Our mouth or our action. So you can't tell this man you want to do, I'm okay, you're lying to yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. It said you want to be a millionaire, right? What was the last thing it said? You got to be what? So for today, we're going to do what now? Oh my God. No, good man, very intelligent young man, guys. Very, very, very intelligent. But you got to challenge the youth, right? One thing I love about my boy's dad, he understands that it takes a village. We do this. He talks to my son. Chris talks to my son. Dre talks to my son. Kinsey talks to my son. We help each other because it's not a one-person job in helping bringing the success out of these youth. The problem is a lot of us will sit back and laugh, but it's not our job. It's all of our job to help each other, right? In order to make someone become their better self, we got to work together. We got to work together. We got to stop allowing ourselves to believe that things are going to come from nothing. Say it again. No matter what age. And the reason why I say that is, look, let's bring up some ages, right? Good job. Building a village. I love that, right? I want y'all to see this. He get VCR for a laptop. VCR. Samuel L. Jackson has been in Hollywood staple for years now. But he only had bad parts before landing an award-winning role at the age of 43. Anyone that tells me they don't know who Samuel L. Jackson is, they've been living under a rock. This man is in everything. One of my favorite Samuel L. Jackson lines is, "There's snakes on the damn plane." Remember that? Right? That's how this man has been everywhere. I can only imagine what he's worth. Martha Stewart, the home kitchen icon, right? Didn't find real success until the age of 41. Right? Let's keep going. Betty White is one of the most award-winning comics, right? Actress in history. But she didn't become an icon until she joined the cast of Mary Taylor Moore Show in 1973, and she was age 51. Let's keep going. Stan Lee, very popular man. Anyone don't know Stan Lee, they've been living under a rock, right? Stan Lee, right, created his first hit comic, The Fantastic Four, just shy of his 39th birthday, right? And that was in 1961. Right? We already know he's the legend of Marvel and universe. He's created Spider-Man, X-Men, and became a culture icon. Stan Lee, right? And kids love him. It's crazy because his comics done transcended from my parents' generation to my generation and into my kids' generation. Right? He's got some of the greatest movies you could ever see, right? Let's keep going. Ray Kroc spent his career in the milkshake device salesman before buying McDonald's at the age of 52 in 1954. He grew up into the world's biggest fast food franchise. Ray Kroc now, he got in this at 52 years old. There's a reason why I'm going with this, guys. Stay with me, right? Harlan Sanders, better known as Colonel Sanders, was 62 2 years old when he franchised KFC in 1952. He sold the franchise business for what? $2 million? $2 million, right? Well, look where I'm going with this, guys. Age is only a number. It's when you give up on yourself is when life has ended. Let's get out of our fear. Let's stop not willing to take chances. See, everyone don't understand. You set a moment, a time, and a date, and a second for when you want something, and when something don't happen, what happens, Ray, is you give up and you quit. And then you envy the ones that keep pursuing. That's a harsh reality. You got to say to yourself, no matter what my circumstances are today, I'm going to work for the betterment, because you might have made poor decisions, but you don't got to continue to make them. See, the fear of missing out, what are you missing out on? You're missing out on you living your dream that's in your mind, right? That's the FOMO. That's the FOMO. We got to stop fearing what we're missing out on and start working towards becoming our better selves. Life is a day-by-day process, right? Planning for your future, but living in the day. That's what life is in a nutshell, Kinsey. Planning for your future, but living day by day. Focusing on becoming your greatest self. When you realize that you are your decisions, you will ultimately understand that your life is a totality of your decisions. I will say this, when you're young, you look every bit like your parents. When you get older, you definitely look like your life decisions. And a lot of people are making poor decisions until we realize that we are the FOMO. We're the FOMO. I like that. We're the FOMO. Someone in my life say this with me right now. I will not fear anymore. I will walk towards my greatest self. Chris, say that for me. I will not fear anymore. Say it with your chest. I will walk towards my greatest self. I'm not going to watch anybody else, but I will work every day towards being my better self. Tomorrow's another day, and I will challenge myself to be the better self tomorrow and the day after that, no matter what. Put your hand up. Swear to God. I love it. Let's go. Guys, we're going to work on becoming our better selves. We ain't going to sit back every day and cry about what isn't and what could be and what should be. We're going to worry about what is that we can work on today. Tomorrow's another day. Someone might have made some poor decisions today, but a mistake is not a repeated thing, just so you know that. Let's stop saying I made a mistake. When you're repeating something, that's a decision. A lot of people say, Dre, I made a mistake. I can't keep knocking over your cup of milk talking about I made a mistake. That's a decision. So guys, let's start working on making better decisions and stop constantly keep making the same mistakes. We're creatures of habit. And until we learn that we must break old habits in order to create the new realms that we want. So again, it's the FOMO, the fear of missing out on things. We got to stop fearing missing out on things. We got to start pursuing our greater selves. No more lying to ourselves, right? No more disengaging with our reality. That's the thing we do. We disengage from our reality. Let's re-engage in our reality. Let's start focusing on becoming our better selves, right? No more lying. But this is what we're going to do now. Everybody in my life right now, let me get a hand up. I don't like swearing, so we ain't going to swear. We're going to make a promise, right, to ourselves. And that's the real promise. If you break a promise with yourself, that means you clearly can't love yourself. Don't put your hand up if you ain't going to tell yourself the truth. I promise myself I'm going to work every day harder to become my greatest self. I'm going to work on alleviating my fear, right? I'm going to push my FOMO to the side and said, I'm going to go after what I want. I'm going to stop talking about the dreams that I have in my head. I'm going to pursue it. And I'm going to go one day at a time. Because one step at a time is better than taking no steps, right? So we're going to start making these steps. We're going to do better because there's no more sitting back waiting for things to happen. Today, I promise myself I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to start by working on myself. That's where it all starts with. It's the FOMO. You fear of missing out, right? Every day I fear not becoming my greatest self. Every day I fear it. And today, from now on, I promise myself I'm going to work towards becoming my greatest self. I'm not going to make no more excuses because an excuse is a reason to fail, right? That's what an excuse is. An excuse is a reason to fail. right? That's what we're going to do from now on. We're going to work on becoming our better selves. To everybody that's taking this challenge, I want you to know I love you, I respect you, I appreciate you. Here at the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, we are pushing ourselves to be our greatest selves. We're not sitting back waiting for things to happen. We're going to make these things happen. You are what you support. Stop supporting the negativity and wonder why the world is so negative. Stop sharing the garbage content. Stop sharing it. Enough of it. It's too much. We allow ourselves to continue to support the negativity, but we expect the positive results. That's a harsh force reality. No more FOMO. I'm not missing out on the world. I'm going after my dreams, my goals, my aspirations, and everything I want. For now on, today starts my today. This very second starts me pursuing my greater self. So let's go get it. No more sit back waiting for things to happen. Till next time, guys, don't let that go over your head.